Now, Rabí Janina ben Tardion was one of the greatest sages that ever lived, but at the same time was one of the Asara Hugei Malchut, one of the 10 mortars that the evil Romans killed in public in a horrific way, each one worse than the other. This is one of the things we mourn during Tisha B'Av. We talk about how they killed each and every one of them and get depressed all over again each time. Not because they killed them, because they're in a better world like we talked about a few minutes ago, but because we don't have their Torah anymore. We don't have their knowledge anymore. We have only a limited amount of what they actually had. Rabí Janina ben Tardion was one of those tzaddikim that understood Hashem's reasoning is beyond him. Even with all of his intellect, even though he was able to revive the dead, even though his daughter was married to Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, her name was Buya, her herself was considered one of the sages. When the Romans tied him up to his Sefer Torah and started to burn him, he didn't ask, oh, where's Hashem? He didn't say, oh, well, Hashem forgot me. Hashem didn't think about me. The only thing he was concerned about was telling his students, my students, that Sefer Torah is being burnt. But I see the letters coming out and going into the heavens, which is a reminder for us that they could hurt our body, but our neshama is eternal. David HaMelech didn't ask Hashem why his timing is his timing. The way David HaMelech started his day, ended his day, started his life, ended his life, was with Hashem in mind. There was nothing, no step in David HaMelech's life where Hashem wasn't in mind, including his own Hanukat HaBait. We have Hanukat HaBait today, Baruch Hashem, and we have a Mizmor, we have a Teilim that David HaMelech sings to Hashem, and he reminds us of this very same principle. In Teilim 30 it says, Mizmor Shir Hanukat HaBait LeDavid. It says a song for the inauguration of the temple by David. Hanukat HaBait. What bait? The bait of Hashem. Even though David HaMelech was not around when they actually built the entire Beit HaMikdash, he saw it being built in prophecy. So he saw the Beit HaMikdash that his son, Shlomo HaMelech, was going to build. And he says here, we have a Hanukat HaBait. Everyone wants a bait. People want a house. If they have one house, they want a bigger house. If they have a big house already, they want a second house. They want a vacation house. Everyone wants a house. You tell somebody, listen, I'm renting. Oh, why are you wasting money on renting? Why don't you buy? Have your own house. Yeah, but then instead of paying the rent, I pay the mortgage for 500 years. Yeah, but at least it's yours. No, it's not. If you stop paying the mortgage, you take it back. It's not yours, it's the bank's. So you're renting it just from the bank instead of some guy. People are infatuated with this purchasing of a house. You tell somebody I'm renting, it's like they're, oh, me skin. Like it's some type of physical flaw of some kind. Some big rabbis rented their houses their whole life. It's not exactly one of the 613 mitzvot to own a house. But the point being here is when you ask Hashem in your prayers, in the many, many prayers, you cry to Hashem, I want a house, I want a house, I want a house, I want a house. Did you ever ask yourself, why would Hashem give you a house? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with this house? Are you going to have a house, are you going to have big parties and a bunch of Chilul Hashem? You're going to have a house so it's full of things that are against Hashem? You're going to have a house, you're going to show off and be arrogant? What are you going to have a house for? Oh, you're going to have Sifrei Kodesh? Okay. You're going to have Shiurei Torá? Okay. You're going to help people, you're going to fulfill Mitzvot? Fine, that's a reason. And David HaMelech is saying, Mizmor shir Hanukat HaBait leDavid, aro mimecha Adonai ki dilitani, velo simachta oivai li. A psalm, a song for the inauguration of the temple by David. I will exalt you, Hashem, for you have drawn me up and not let my foes rejoice over. He says, Hashem, I know you have your own timing. I know I'm not going to be around to see the Beit HaMikdash. But I just want to let you know that every day of my life, I've always did everything I possibly can to do Kiddush Hashem, to exalt your name. And thank you for giving me that opportunity. Because if you would give me the opportunity to live in the times of the Beit HaMikdash, I would still do the same. Your timing may not be something that I desire. I want to be alive for the Beit HaMikdash. But you're the one that runs the show.
I've heard enough. New arrival screams echoing through the hallway to know that this ain't good. Once they pass them through the infierno, they don't come back. It's enough to make you go crazy.
Do not think we fear you, Spirit. We know your power is born of evil. This is your last night in the land of the living. You understand me, malevolent demon?
There was a rich family that lived here called the Hetheringtons, and unfortunately, their daughter passed away of a heart attack inside the house. Basically, they were so devastated that they reached out to people claiming to be psychic mediums. They actually weren't psychic mediums. They opened up a total of 11 portals inside this house and invited spirits and entities from all different kinds of dimensions.
Well, I think there are certain pieces of evidence that there is an afterlife.
Resurrection of the dead is affirmed pretty clearly in the Talmud and the Midrash.
To be honest with you, to give this lecture is a nightmare. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do it. There's going to be some graphic details.
This place is a maze.
That person after death went to a place called Sheol.
This is by far the largest near-death experience study that has ever been conducted.
People go to a place and they experience weird things. And sometimes they actually will see a character of some type. Well, where did that come from?
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
may describe feeling profoundly peaceful, seeing a bright, warm, welcoming light. Some people describe watching doctors and nurses working on them with incredible accuracy.
Next thing I knew, I was above my body watching the operation.
How long did you feel like you were gone?
I went to a place of timelessness. And so what that means, it could have been a second, could have been 5 minutes. I don't know.
Can you imagine waking up from your sleep and not being able to move?
As I'm lying there, I realized that there's an evil presence next to me.
Do you believe that angels, demons exist?
Holy shit, dude, get out of here! Oh my god, dude!
Strange things keep happening. Bizarre nightmares, as if I'm on fire in the woods.
Whoa, what the hell is this? Man, I've got bad chest pain.
Satan's Hollow is what it's called, the portal to hell.
Some people calling it an eye of fire, while others said it looked like the portal to hell opening up.
And the next thing I know, I was outside of my body, looking at my body.
What I'm going to do is called claromancy, the art of throwing lots or throwing bones.
2,000 years of experience, passed down, recorded, of how demons work.
God has them all on a leash, and he lets the leash go enough to let them tempt us, because that's what makes us spiritually stronger.
I'm trying to be as graphic as possible so you understand what we're talking about.
It's your ticket to reality. It's your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to immortality.
Is there an afterlife? Is there a
It's
God?
the type of information that can keep you away from the Yetzirah.
What happens to us after we die?